I get more nervous with the machine learning than I do with the other one, because on machine learning the problem is that they would just one day it is going to decide, okay, we have not spent anything in last
Amazon is
20
like pushing lots of new features usually into the last quarter when they have their Accelerate event, and they also have their Unbox
is
event
it
coming.
better than the other AI platforms, because there are so many AI video generation platforms.
But without the context of, are
Yeah,
my ads actually profitable with 20% ACoS?
yeah.
Are my ads cannibalizing my organic positionings?
Although Tesla is totally automated, like you, in theory, you can actually, self-drive it. But to be very honest, you need a person on the steering wheel all the time.
Mhm.
That's the truth about it.
Systems. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, OpenAI with Sora 2 dropped, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is the best video AI engine ever."
One person, they also do ads. So I was like, do you know about Google AdSense? And they were like, no. And I was like, you seriously don't know about Google AdSense? And they were like, no.
Now we have AI media eventually coming.
Yeah.
ChatGPT just announced you can now buy stuff through ChatGPT.
Hi Alex, how are you?
Hey Adil, I'm very good. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you so much for coming. And you also have a podcast, so it's really nice to have two people who have a podcast together.
Yeah. It's kind of I'm not doing it as regular as you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it, so it's more like whenever I have time, then I'll record something. But
yeah.
I've never had any guests on my podcast. It's like usually just me talking to the microphone.
But yeah, I saw your content. It's really good, actually. Yeah, it's
Thanks a lot. Thanks
enjoyable.
a lot. That's pleasure hearing. I try to
Yeah.
give my best on that.
No, no, that's awesome. So, Alex, I'm gonna start off with the most obvious question in 2025, and that is how is and actually, I'm seeing even with the Amazon Accelerate that happened few days ago, they have
Mhm.
unveiled more AI stuff and more automation stuff. So, how do you see that? Like, is it helpful for Amazon, or is it helpful for performance marketing, or how do you see that going forward?
Yeah, I think Amazon. So first of all, Amazon is like pushing lots of new features usually into the last quarter when they have their Accelerate event, and they also have their Unbox event coming soon, which is just about ads, and probably more things gonna be revealed there. And some of those things are very useful, and some of those things are maybe let's say they're
Yeah,
not yet useful. Maybe they become
yeah,
useful. So 2 years ago, they launched Amazon AI image generation, and I would say back then, when you started using this AI image generation, it was not good. You couldn't use these pictures. When I look now at their newly announced AI creative studio, which combines image generation, video generation, and kind of prompting and editing with all of within Amazon, I think that's already looking pretty great. I don't have access to this AI creative studio, but I've created some AI videos just last week for a client, and some of them actually look good enough to use them for sponsored brand videos or
yeah,
sponsored display videos. So I think those things are very interesting because I think first of all, everything is inside Amazon, so you don't need
yeah.
to go to another app. You don't need to download the images to your machine and upload them to Amazon again. Everything is within the platform. You can just select the product, click on create a video, and then it creates the video. So it's super simple, and I think this helps sellers or marketers or operators to streamline this kind of process. Even though I think the quality of what those AI, let's say, image or video generations, is not the same like a professional production video shooting or like a professional designer. So it's still behind that in terms of quality, but in terms of operational lift, it's super simple. So I think that's great. And then they're also kind of pushing, I think, from an advertising perspective, they're also pushing like into more automations and kind of
Yeah.
those kind of things. Rule-based adjustments on campaigns, audience adjustments for bidding or audience targeting. So there's more of those kind of things coming. And Yeah, I think, like as I said in the beginning, some of them are more helpful than others.
Yeah,
Some of them might need, in my opinion, more adjustments, and yeah, it depends on. Also, it depends a little bit on how is your internal team maybe
yeah.
structured. Do you have the capacity, to leverage these things, or do you have the capacity to get into these new features and test them? Because sometimes you just need to, go test them out and see if they work for you. And
I want to test this, AI video generation because I think, like, I'm not so sure, but I think Amazon will prefer that video over the other videos or not, because there is algorithm where, in on Meta or on other stuff, if you post an AI video, it used to give it a better boost than the normal videos. So we
mhm.
saw that in the beginning. So I'm not sure if Amazon is going to do the same because it's created from their own studio. What do you think?
That's a interesting hypothesis.
Yeah,
I think in the end, I would think that Amazon would push everything that increases conversion rate, and their kind of.
yeah,
So Amazon has two incentives. One incentive is to make money from fees, from selling fees. So
yeah,
they want to push for things that convert really well and really
yeah,
quick. So not long decision making, click and buy. That's good for them. But on the other hand, click, click, click before you buy is also
yeah,
good for them because they get the revenue
yeah.
from the advertising spend. So they have two incentives that might collide a little bit, and whether the video in your example is AI generated inside the platform or it comes externally, if Amazon sees it's converting well, we are getting click revenue from it too, then probably this is what Amazon is preferring or pushing. Um, but I mean, I see, you see it on most social platforms. AI is kind of taking over,
Yeah,
all the short video platforms. Lots of videos there are already AI. People are engaging with this. People are watching it. So um, why not? And I think, for a seller, having don't having any videos is not
yeah,
preferred over just having some videos that at
yeah.
least you can run ads on, for example.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I was thinking because a lot of sellers, especially the ones that have one product or two products, are very because the high quality production takes a lot of money. So it's actually better to get it. But the next question would be: is it better than the other AI platforms? Because there are so many AI video generation platforms. Even I have started using one,
Mhm.
and it's really good. Like you give it a command, and it actually it's an avatar based one, so I've been testing it out. So it's really good. It's actually interesting because a lot of my clients, especially in the not for the Amazon space, but for some lead generation businesses that I have, that I'm working for, they need videos and they are like very lazy to record it because they don't want to be face forward for it. So I started using AI avatars to just get it done.
Yeah, I think what I said earlier, I think in terms of quality, Amazon is not there yet with their own tools.
Yep.
Other tools are way better. So, as an example, if you want to create a lifestyle image, I think Google Gemini with Nano Banana, if you know that kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah, I heard about it.
it's way better than Amazon's own systems. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, OpenAI with Sora 2 dropped, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is the best video AI engine ever." But I think with AI, there's also like this every other week some new company is dropping their newest model on
Yeah,
video generation, and then Google View 4 will be the best, and then Baidu or Alibaba, whatever, Magnus will
yeah,
be the best. So there's always something that is better than the existing ones, and Amazon is kind of not even catching up with those. So if you
yep,
are looking for, like you said, like high quality video generation with AI, then Amazon's own systems are, in my opinion, not the best. So they are good enough to create
yeah,
something within the system. Take your ASIN, drop down, select it,
yeah,
and then click on create. But if you want to create something, let's say of a better quality, then rather go for another other tools that are
yeah.
not on the platform. Um,
Yeah, makes sense. But I have started seeing that, AI has made life a lot easier.
mhm.
How is it for you? Like, how's the overall experience for you?
I would agree that things are now much easier than they used to be. So I give you one example. I just recently built a new website. We are sync.com. It's like the agency I've started, and on that website, this is completely built with AI tools. So I'm not a programmer, I'm not an engineer. I know a little bit of coding,
Yeah,
but with that, I could build this whole website. I could build apps and tools within the website, and they're actually useful, and you can use them for your daily operations. And I think this, and I see this across, many other operators that are, PPC managers, and they're a little bit technical or interested. They can now
yeah,
start building workflows or tools that help them, make their operations easier. And this, I think, is something that has never been there before. If you, like 5 years ago, if you have like your process, you need to download a bug file and then you need to adjust this to
yeah,
upload bits or campaigns, you would need to do it manually. If you would be technically good enough, maybe you would build macros inside Excel, or you
yeah,
would build a script inside Google Sheets. And now you can build fully operational apps, launching them, sharing them with
yeah,
others if you want to. And um, this is like an enablement that's happening across, not just PPC operators, across all the different
yeah,
roles. And I think this is like super helpful and helping, a lot with daily operations. Still, I think there's, from an AI perspective, there's still, areas where I think an AI is not as good as a human.
yeah,
So
yeah. That makes
I
sense.
don't know how do you see that?
So basically, like I used to be very skeptical of AI, to be very honest, and then I came here, and a lot of digital nomads, like I was talking to one digital nomad, and he was telling me that when they dropped the Chat GPT, he
Hmm.
had an idea of making an AI based book reading app,
Hmm.
and he did that because he had ChatGPT, so he just wrote a little bit of his code, and ChatGPT gave him, completed the code for him, and he was able to, start it out, and it actually is a really good app. And I did not know that it's totally built by him, and it's only this, and he's able to, make a lot of yeah. He's able to create a whole company with just based
Hmm.
on AI and just one app, and then obviously he started creating extension for that app, and putting it online and stuff like that. So yeah, that was very interesting, that a whole new empire can be built by just AI, and then yeah, yeah, you can go forward with it. Yeah,
Yeah, but I think where AI currently is not, not as helpful, or let's say it still needs more context. Let's say it like that. When you want to optimize your Amazon ads, in my opinion, you cannot only, look at your Amazon ads data. So I can look
yeah,
at my campaign, and then my campaign says, oh, my ACOS is 20%, I have this conversion rate, I need to increase my bids or whatever. But without the context of, are
yeah,
my ads actually profitable with 20% ACOS?
yeah,
Are my ads cannibalizing my organic positionings? Are my ads, it's like you need
yeah,
more data that would
yep,
be needed to feed into the AI from, how's my competitors doing? How's
yeah,
my organic ranks? How's my profitability? How's my inventory? There's so many layers you would need to teach an AI before it actually could make really good decisions
yep,
on your Amazon ads. Most things I see are purely built around, let's say the internal ads data, and then they say, hey, my ACOS is 20, but my ACOS target is 25, so I increase my bids.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine, but that's just looking at,
yeah,
this one little, it just looks at one piece, and it's not looking at the full book. It looks at one page, but not the full book.
yeah,
And
full book, yeah,
um, therefore, I think same with analyzing the data. When you do data analytics and you analyze the data, an AI need the full context. Did my competitors run a 7-day deal or like a
yep,
best deal? Yes, then maybe that's why my conversion rate dropped.
yep,
Did my, did somebody else, did my price change? Did I got external traffic? Did somebody pushed on a newspaper or something which featured my product?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All of these things, they are essential. They're really essential to understand your product performance and your total performance. And an AI is only as good as the data you feed into that. And if you're
yep,
missing any of these pieces, of these puzzle pieces, then root cause analysis are just as as good as eventually a human could also do it. So I think if you have the right data pieces all connected, then an AI could do all of that. However, I see currently
Yep.
none of that really existent.
What's the worst performance AI has given you so far?
Uh, I don't know. I think like whenever, so when we talk about I would distinguish between machine learning and like all these AI
Yeah,
large language
yeah,
model kind of probability things. Um, I have not used AI tools to manage ads, but in the
yeah.
past I've used many
Machine learning. Yeah,
machine learning algorithms to manage ads. And I mean, the worst things are either spending way too much,
yeah,
like an ACOS is 100%, but you wanted to have it at 20 because I don't know, the tool
yeah,
doesn't react properly, or not spending at all. And we, I've worked at a bigger US company, and we have worked years on our own algorithms and kind of trying to teach them, what to look for. And there's so many nuances in Amazon ads that you need to look out for. If
yeah,
you because one example, you think you need to drop your bid because your ACOS is too high, but at a certain point your bid is too low, and then you will not get any
yeah,
impressions.
yep,
So let's say the algorithm says, hey, to be profitable from this 30% ACOS campaign, I need to drop it to 80 cents. But 80 cents might be too low, and now you're not getting any impressions,
yeah,
or you're only getting product detail page impressions, which are converting worse. You're
yeah,
not getting the top of search. So the mix of your clicks and impressions is changing, and therefore your campaign performance is changing. And it's complicated. I would say
yeah,
it's complicated. It's
yeah.
not that simple.
I also use one tool for machine learning. I'm still using it. So what I do is I put whenever I'm starting the ad, I put a really high ACOS target so that it starts spending, and then gradually slow it down, and then I have to every day like I get more nervous with the machine learning than I do with the other one, because on machine learning the problem is that they would just one day it is going to decide, okay, we have not spent anything in last 20 days, so
Mhm.
let's just spend everything in 5 hours. And this has
Yeah,
happened with me. So yeah, this
that's
problem,
not
like,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes
So,
yeah.
and also another thing that happened with me was I had to create 120 sponsor brand video campaigns. And I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I went to ChatGPT and I asked it to create the campaigns for me, create a bulk upload file for me, and it actually took me 8 hours to, and basically 4 hours to keep asking ChatGPT to, okay, this is now the error, this is now the error, this is now the error. And it kept doing, it kept creating more stuff. And what ended up happening was it created three campaigns, uh, uh, basically 300 campaigns for 120 campaigns that I asked for it.
Mm.
And then what happened was, it all those campaigns were incomplete because it was not able to create ads and then put a video on it.
The
I
video
gave
was
it,
missing, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and
Yeah, I mean,
keywords were missing as well. So I had to go and then manually do, delete 200, and then yeah. So
yeah. I think that's what you just put. You just said a very valid point. Like the tool doesn't understand how to build a bulk upload sheet. It doesn't
yeah,
understand that for creating a sponsored brand or sponsored brand video campaign, you need to have a video or an image connected,
yeah,
kind of. And that needs to be uploaded to Amazon Creative Center, and
yeah,
then you need to have the
assets, yeah,
and you need to have that link for creating it via the bulk sheet. And how shall a ChatGPT that is not connected to your account knows those kind of things?
yeah.
Um, so I think that's kind of solvable. If you would prompt it long enough and kind of tell it, hey, you need to ask me for
I did
that,
it
and you
for
need to ask me.
4 hours. four
Then then
hours
then at some point it's doable, but
Yeah,
it takes time. So you need to
yeah,
build like really solid structures and routines and like workflows where every
yeah,
single piece is kind of asked for. So like you would teach somebody that is completely new to the topic, and you say, hey, this is now your job. Now first you need to click here,
yeah,
then you need to download this,
yeah,
then you take this, put it here, then you go here and take it. So this is
yeah.
basically what you need to
I
do,
think
like a
I think where I did wrong was I actually, the file that it gave me. I At first I was like, I was feeling very lazy, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna upload it, and I'm not gonna do a double check on it. So
Hmm.
that's where the problem came in, because I didn't humanly check it first before uploading, and that's why 300 campaigns got created, and that's why none of them had, because I actually gave it, for each product type, for each portfolio, I gave it a video link as well, like this is the creative asset link
Hmm.
that's available, so you put it down there. But I didn't overcheck it, so I think it's very important to keep the human, interface in it. Even actually, funnily enough, last month, a company came to me and they were like, we wanna automate the Amazon ads,
Hmm.
and actually they wanted to automate the whole Amazon workflow. So they were like, a seller comes in and everything is managed for him, and at the end of every week the report is generated of all the tasks they have done. They had created a listing automizer and stuff like that, and I was like, although on paper it sounds doable, it can never be done. So he was like, no,
Yeah.
it can be done. I was like, you have no idea, because they were new to Amazon actually. So it's their first time coming to Amazon. I was like, a lot of people have tried. Like, people
It's
have been
too
trying.
too much things to consider, right? And
Yeah,
it's like also I would say when you think that this kind of stuff can everything can be automated, like, hey, I want to click on a button and then it creates a listing, it creates SEO, it creates images, it creates ads, everything optimized perfectly, and I just get profits.
yeah,
That's kind of an ideal
yeah, yeah,
scenario, what people might think, but that's not the reality. The reality is much more cumbersome, much more clunky, much more. You need to look at that and at
yeah,
that, and then you get an error here, and then this is not compliant and whatever. So it's like um uh maybe this in 10 years, in 5 years, I don't know how fast AI will evolve, is kind of something that's doable. But there's no magic button to just
yeah,
generate profits. You still need to put in the hours, you still need to put in the work. Eventually you can solve some operational loads that are taking you usually hours to reduce it to minutes, or and then you
yeah,
have more time for other things. But there's no magic button as of yet. If there would be, then everybody would be a millionaire.
yeah.
But yeah.
I gave him the example that, although Tesla is totally automated, like, in theory you can actually, self-drive it, but to be very honest, you need a person on the steering wheel all the time.
Mhm.
That's the truth about it, because yeah, you can engage autopilot, but to be very honest, it's more dangerous. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where we are right now, right? This all just started some years ago,
yeah,
and we are in the very beginning, even though it feels like it's there for a long time already. But
yeah,
if you look back 3 years ago, there was no AI image generation or Midjourney or
yeah,
whatever. Maybe 3 years ago that all started, but um, and also self-driving cars. I don't know when Tesla started with that, but probably not mm, before 5 years ago or something like that. So we are very early, similar to how when you look back in the 90s or in the early 2000s, where the internet was very early. So this is like where we are with AI right now, and it takes a while until this develops into a world where it's really sufficient, where
yep,
it's kind of what people think it will be. You sit in a car, maybe in the back, and it just drives you, no matter in which city and whatever. But um, that will still take a while. I don't know how long, but
yep.
um,
I'm just wondering, Alex, like, how you have been in performance marketing for a very long time, right?
yeah, I'll do performance marketing now since 2013.
Awesome, awesome. So you have seen it change, gradually, and how it has come about now. So what's the biggest change that you have seen in 10, 11 years? Yeah.
I think the biggest change I've seen is like, first of all, retail media being like the kind of rising stars of
Yeah.
let's say online media spendings. So 10 years ago, Amazon ads was not on the radar for most kind of
Yeah.
businesses, and Amazon is making
Yeah.
sure they are getting more budgets over and over with their announcements, partnering with Netflix, partnering with Disney, and getting all of these TV budgets also into
Yeah.
their kind of advertising system. So kind of that from Google to Meta to now retail media. That was kind of a big shift, or is still a big shift, from just search to social to retail
Yep.
media, and kind of all of them are growing together. Search
Yep.
is still growing, social is still growing, retail media is still growing. Now we have AI media eventually coming.
Yeah.
ChatGPT just announced you can now buy stuff through ChatGPT. Eventually, they will run ads on those
Yeah.
results as well. That might be the next layer coming in
Ooh.
uh, in,
I
in
I
the
didn't
future.
think about it. Yeah. Up until you talked about it. Yeah.
I mean,
That's interesting. Yeah.
look, right now to use ChatGPT, you pay $20, at least if you use the pro
Yeah. Yeah.
version, and most features might just be available for the pros. And at some point, they will most likely say, hey, if you're using a free access, which you can, then you'll get ads, similar to
Yeah.
all the other platforms. So they have like 700 million active people on their app. I don't know how many of those are paying, but you as a company, and they're getting lots of fundings. There's big
Yep.
names behind them, and they want to get their money back. So
Yeah.
they need to produce revenue, and they produce revenue with pro subscriptions, maybe ads in the future,
Yeah.
and eventually some fees they're getting from if they drive sales on your Shopify store, then ChatGPT will say, hey, I made you $100. Give
Yeah.
me $10 because otherwise you would have not made that money.
Yeah.
So ads is a natural development, and that might be kind of the, let's say, newer, could be. Let's say I don't know how it will play out.
Because now with Apple Intelligence, the Chat GPT comes preloaded, so you actually just sign in to it. So yeah, that makes sense because if I say, "Hey Siri, can you find me a let's just say a new wallet
Mhm.
that is RFID protected," and it just tells me, "Okay, this one is gonna come fastest because it's with Amazon Prime," and yeah, that actually makes sense. That
Yeah,
actually
and
will work.
I mean that could be sponsored somehow. I'm not sure. There's like this. Apple is like this walled garden. They want to protect your data, and they don't want to push you ads because you're already paying a lot for Apple products anyways, and
Yeah,
or maybe Apple Cloud, whatever. Um, so they have maybe a different incentive than just pushing ads towards you.
yeah.
But like
For
an
Android
OpenAI,
users, for Android users,
yeah,
I use
Android,
both. I use both. So
yeah, Android is different. So
yeah,
maybe we see ads later on the iPhone than we would see it on the Android. But like this shift is one of the biggest, and then I think like the other biggest is like from static media to rich media, meaning videos, audio,
yeah,
all of that stuff is kind of um, growing. And when you see how people are consuming nowadays, they're mainly looking at videos. So maybe
yep,
10, 15 years
yeah,
ago,
yeah, that's
you
yeah,
wouldn't
that
watch so
makes
many
sense.
videos. You
Yeah,
would maybe read a blog or read
yeah,
some newspapers. Now people watch everything on TikTok and YouTube, and kind of that the user behavior has changed, and therefore also the media
yeah,
which we do ads on has also changed. And with AI enabling better videos and better images, I just see this become even more mainstream,
yeah.
and even more broadly used.
So Alex, you just reminded me of something. A few days ago, I was talking to this one person. They also do ads. So I was like, "Do you know about Google AdSense?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, you seriously don't know about Google AdSense? And they were like,
Mhm.
no, I don't, I have never heard of it. And it broke my heart because it used to be a big thing. You put it on your blog and you get traffic, and then Google would pay you, and it was actually a new concept to them. And I was like, how Gen Z are these guys that they don't even know, like, the first thing that would made you money was through blogs, and you would get traffic to them, and all of these things. So I was like, that used to be a time, and now it's all video. Like, even my friend wanted to start a blog. They are a
Mhm.
really good writer. So I told them, instead of writing, what you need to do is you need to uh, put it on voice over text, and then put it on either TikTok, and that's how your stories will be published, and people will watch it more and hear it more.
Yeah, I would agree. So it's like a shift from getting incentivized for views, for page views through AdSense, and then showing the display ads there and getting some CPMs. Um, this is still happening on YouTube. So if you monetize your YouTube channel, then YouTube pays you a cost per
Yeah.
million model based on what the advertisers are paying. Let's say an
Yep.
advertiser pays $10 CPM, then you get maybe two from
Yeah.
that as a incentivation for your videos. But there's like this other model, like you said, reviews or like affiliate. So nowadays, everyone that is like active on, let's say, YouTube or TikTok or any social, they say, hey, I have this new watch and it's
Yeah.
from this brand. Now you can buy it with this link, and then they get some 10% or
Yeah.
20% commission. So that, I think that existed like 10, 20 years ago
Yeah.
already. So this is not a new model that you get money
Yeah.
from selling things. Um, but I think the magnitude that now everybody can be an affiliate, everybody can
Yeah.
hold the product into the camera and say, hey, this is the best mark. Now buy it for
Yeah.
10% off. Um, this has changed, and because of the easier distribution, with it's maybe not easier. I think 10, 20 years ago, if you had a blog to be like a very good visible blog with lots of people,
Yeah.
was challenging. And nowadays, if you want to be an influencer person, it's also challenging. It's not that easy to
Yeah.
get 100,000 followers. I mean, I don't have 100,000 followers, even though I think I'm kind of trying to make good content, but the audience is also very niche that I'm
So
talking
basically,
to.
it's
But
with the YouTube, the odd, like for the YouTube, it always has been like the biggest gets the most share, and then the other ones get lower share.
mhm,
And for YouTube Shorts, it's really good. I have not done YouTube Shorts, but I have seen that if you post the same video on YouTube Shorts, it gets a lot more views because people are like scrolling up on it. And also on TikTok and also on Instagram, if you post a video on Instagram and TikTok, it gets better views. But for YouTube, it's like until you get big enough, or if you do a really viral video, really
mhm.
really viral video, or something like something nobody has ever talked about, that kind of, if that gets traction and stuff, then you get some views on it. But other than that, YouTube, like short form content, works very well, especially for the new ones. The short form content is really good.
Yeah, and the reason why it works well is because the platforms are pushing
Yeah.
these things. So YouTube wants you to create short videos, so they have enough content in their short video platform, so they incentivize you as a content creator with
Yeah.
more exposure.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I see the same. When I post something as a YouTube short, I get best case 10,
Yeah.
15 times the clicks than I get on my regular
Yeah.
videos. Um, and not all the videos, I do 10 shorts and then one pops and these others
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
like normal, but this keeps me interested in producing more of these short videos, and I think all the other platforms are doing kind of the same. So the algorithms know how to play us as
Yeah.
viewers but also as content creators to kind of putting more into these algorithms.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of have to do it in if you want to have a certain amount of reach or visitors or clicks or whatever, then it's
Yeah.
necessary nowadays to play that. I guess maybe there's
Yeah. So
examples
I was
where they don't do that.
I have this founders running club, and there was this person who came in. What they do is they used to talk about their. I'm just sharing this because it was very interesting. They actually have a lot of allergies, so they used to talk about it on Instagram, and they got slowly famous because they had so many allergies, and people were interested in knowing about the allergies because everyone has an allergy,
Mm.
different kind of. So,
I
and
have
what
many.
yeah. So, and what ended up happening was a lot of pharmaceutical, because they were based out of USA, a lot of
Mhm.
pharmaceutical companies started coming in for that. We have these, for you, these
Mhm.
allergy pills for you and stuff like that. So they started making a lot more money because their father was an entrepreneur. So they started doing this. But what she used to talk, what she was telling me was, like some of her videos, what she does is she stands on the desk and she makes those videos. And the reason she makes those videos is because anything different that you do in your video, it gets more reach. So she was like, if you do a backflip and you are really near the wall, like if you are doing backflip on a simple service, it's not gonna get more views. But if you are really near the wall and if you are just about to hit it but you don't hit it, and that video is going to explode, and that video is going to give you like 60,000 views or 70,000 views. But if you do a
Mhm.
backflip on a very open surface, it's not going to get that many views. And I was like, this is very interesting that since people are like, oh, like this factor, wow factor, or awe factor, that oh, this guy's gonna fall.
Yeah, yeah,
So that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of so that's why she started doing videos standing on her desk and stuff like that. And I was like, this is very interesting that you have to, you know, do these kind of things to, just to stay in the game.
It's I think you hit a very good point. It's true. Attention grabbing methods are
Yeah,
working, and I'm personally not the person of doing those kind of things, but I certainly agree that it works. It also works on me.
yeah,
If if I would wear a costume talking about Amazon ads and PPC, then people would say, what kind of what kind of
yeah, yeah,
funny,
I
weird
understand.
joke person is that? But people would watch it, even though they
Yeah,
don't know about. But I would give away my authenticity and myself kind of if I would be wearing a Batman mask and talking about Amazon PPC. Then people would maybe watch it.
that's
So
very interesting. We should try that
if you
someday.
want to do something crazy or like unusual, then just wear a costume. I give you one example. There is a guy in London. He founded an agency, a Google Ads agency, like 10 years ago or something like that. They're called Brain. I don't something with Brain. Brain Labs. Brain Labs are they called? They're now a big agency. They got bought. Whatever. Have a couple of hundred people working there, and this guy got famous for being on conferences and wearing a Superman suit. He was like
Ooh.
there's a conference, there's 100 people speaking about this and that topic, and then in the aftermath, when people do like a
Yeah,
summary, a review of what was the conference, everybody was mentioning that guy that came
yeah,
in the Superman dress and was talking about Google Ads. And so
mm,
he got kind of famous within
yeah,
this bubble just for being a little bit different than anybody else, and he was also like really good at what he was
yeah,
doing. And so the agency grew, he got clients, and the agency grew, and then they sold or whatever. And he made fun of himself somehow. He
yeah, I
didn't care,
understand. Yeah,
and it worked. So
but that's very interesting. Yeah,
but you need to
we,
step
we should.
outside that comfort zone
Yeah,
and eventually just
yeah,
do it or try it. And
yeah.
I
Imagine,
don't know if
imagine
I would
us
do it.
going to Amazon straight in Batman costume. Yeah, that is
uh,
not
I cannot
that.
do that.
Yeah,
I'm too serious of a person
yeah,
to do
yeah. I
something like that.
understand. But
Um,
that will actually work because Batman is very serious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Like as a person, as a character, he is very
Yeah,
serious. He's
yeah,
also very smart. So I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
need to grab attention. That's kind of the name of the game since a
No,
very
I
long time
think
already.
now I think there should be like we should make a sub agency with the Batman name on it, and then just Batman theme everywhere and try it out. But yeah, I'll pitch it to someone and see if it works. So yeah, I'm
You should
also
you should
very embarrassed
you
embarrassed to
should
do it.
try
But
it
yeah,
or find someone in that you work with that is like a little less serious and would
yeah,
would do it, and then you make him the big
yeah,
showman.
yeah,
Find you need to make show somehow. people
yeah,
people are yeah. You get attention either with laughs or with fears or with entertainment, or with very good looks. If you're very attractive as a man or woman, then you get attention. If you're super
yeah,
funny, you get attention. Or if you're entertaining, you're getting attention. If you're just like a
uh,
regular person, then
yeah.
your attention is like regular, normal, not
Yeah.
like crazy high. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
a lot of my friends who are not related to Amazon, who are not related to ads, watch my videos. Like they only watch the ones where there is a female involved. So yeah, you're right.
interesting. Interesting.
So they
So they
they
will not
like,
watch my video. Okay, that's fine. I can take it.
but the ones who do Amazon will watch it. The ones who are interested in AI will watch it. But yeah, the ones who are like, the guy does JavaScript, my
Mhm.
friend. And he once called me and he was saying that, oh, that person you had on your podcast. I was like, yeah. And he was like, I watched that whole podcast. And I was like, you are not even related to Amazon. You do JavaScript all day. So he was like, yeah, but I was I was like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
mean that's how humans work.
yeah,
And if you know
yeah,
how they work, then then you can trick it or whatever if you're willing to do. Um,
yep, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
there yet. Maybe at some
Yeah.
point I will start, dressing as a Batman or as a Superman or as whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but not yet.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Alex, it was really great for you, having you on the podcast. We have exceeded our mark. But yeah, the conversation was so interesting that I really want to go further. But yeah, we have to stop now. So thank you so
Okay.
much for coming on the podcast. Do you have any, closing remarks or any suggestions for the audience?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me today. It was a great pleasure and fun for me too. If you guys are, interested in building your own tools, test out AI. I think like AI is like a super helpful tool for improving your operations, your workflows, and stuff like that. And if you're interested in, learning more about Amazon Ads, then check out my YouTube channel on Amazon Ads Raw. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.